Our biggest updates on free agent Alex Bregman up to this point in the offseason, and how the Boston Red Sox are a part of the last three teams involved in the Bregman sweepstakes this offseason. I'm going to break down all of the new information that we have on this episode of Red Sox Digest. But first, before we get to the news and information, remember, if you're a part of the 86.5% currently watching this video, not currently subscribed to the channel, and you want to stay up to date on everything Red Sox, scroll down, click the subscribe button. We do appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys. But now let's get to it and break down the massive Alex Bregman updates that we do have. Now, Alex Bregman has been the topic of conversation for this Red Sox team, particularly all offseason long, or at least it feels that way, as again, every single day we get a very, very small update surrounding Alex Bregman and how he could be a Red Sox this upcoming season. Well, now we have the biggest update of the offseason, we can say, and really label it as again, it appears to be that Alex Bregman is down to the final three teams in consideration, which are the Cubs, the Red Sox, and the Detroit Tigers. Now, MLB Network is having a field day with this, as again, we have two different things to break down from MLB Network discussing this exact idea. Now, they would go on to discuss all three of these possible landing spots, including the Detroit Tigers as well as the Chicago Cubs, and how all three of these possible suitors are legitimate in the sense of that all three of these teams could greatly use someone like Alex Bregman, not only the offensive productivity that he brings to your squad, but as well as the defensive versatility and really the overall defensive caliber player that he is, as well as just having the experience that he's obviously obtained through his first 9 years in the MLB, obviously with deep postseason run after deep postseason run and getting to the Fall Classic multiple times with the Houston Astros. Now, they all give a lot of credit to really all the teams outside of Boston. Now, obviously, Boston seems like a very possible option, as well as something that could be very enticing and very exciting, not only for the Red Sox and their entire fan base, but as well as Alex Bregman, due to the ability that this team already has without Bregman. As again, last year they ranked in the top 10 offensively for throughout the entirety of the league. And if you were able to add someone like Alex Bregman at the caliber of player that he is, again, this team would then just get substantially better. And obviously, we don't even have to mention how great it would be defensively, just specifically. Now, obviously, the offense has regressed from Bregman, at least from year to year, going into from year 8 to year 9, obviously that being his last season that he's played. But again, if you put him on this Red Sox team, even if he is a shell of what he has been offensively, he would fit in greatly, as he would take so much pressure off of players like Rafael Devers or anyone that we decide to put at second base, whether it is David Hamilton or Vaughn Grisham. Again, a lot of flexibility, a lot of versatility if Alex Bregman is brought into this organization, which is something that we want to see so desperately, not only because of all the things we just really praised about Alex Bregman and how great and how many contributing factors he brings to this organization, or any organization for that matter, that he does land with. But again, the Boston Red Sox and Craig Breslow have failed to go out and spend any substantial money this offseason. Yes, we've made trades. Yes, we've gone out and acquired a few different names to improve this team, which we definitely have. But again, bringing in Alex Bregman, solidifying the fact that we will go out and spend some money. And Craig Breslow is not scared to actually put some money out on the table and take a chance on one of these free agents like we've seen up to this point, which is just not what has happened. And again, we need there to be a difference. We need there to be a change. We need to finish off this offseason differently than we've started, and really how we've gone about it up to this point of the offseason. And we have to go out there and spend some money and really take the chance, whether or not we give Bregman an opt-out in 2 years because we're worried how he's going to look in 3 years, or whatever the problem may be with Breslow and the rest of this Red Sox organization, and giving these players these big-name contracts. Again, it seems like the game of chicken has worked to some extent. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, obviously Scott Boras and Alex Bregman went into this offseason looking for something along the lines of 7-8 years plus, as well as close to the $200 million mark. Now it seems like Bregman is not going to get anything relatively close to that, as again, the Houston Astros offered him 6 years for $156 million at the beginning of this offseason, and he did not accept that, resulting in, again, a free agency battle and a bidding war amongst possible suitors, where we're hearing rumors that the Chicago Cubs, who again were listed as one of the top 3 teams in with the chance to get Bregman now, obviously are not going to offer him more than a 3-year deal. Now, we don't have any other new reports suggesting otherwise about that. So again, it seems like Bregman in the game of chicken that the Red Sox played, assuming that they didn't want to give him more than 4 years, which has again been reported and that we've broken down on this channel. Again, 4 years, it didn't seem like the Red Sox were going to eclipse that number. Now, the amount of dollar value that was going towards Bregman in that 4-year deal, again, we don't have really a good idea of what it's going to be. We can assume it's around the $150 million mark, as again, that's something that we saw a competitor in the Houston Astros offer him just above that for 6 years, $156 million. I understand the AAV is going to be substantially higher if we do only offer 4 years around that 150 number. But again, in order to go out and get Bregman, I am totally okay with spending a little bit extra money per season to go out and acquire someone like Bregman, as again, we have failed to do so. In the conversation of adding a right-handed bat has been so popular around this Red Sox team, and despite that, and despite people involved in this organization in a very, very powerful and very just substantial part of this organization, I'm referring to you, Craig Breslow. You have failed to gone out there and actually acquire that right-handed bat that you've so frequently went out and discussed how important it's going to be to this Red Sox team to go out and acquire. Again, that has not happened yet, and now we have an idea of what that potential lineup would look like with Alex Bregman, and if you notice, he's listed as a second baseman, which we could rightly assume he would end up playing if he was acquired by this Red Sox team, followed by Duran, Devers, then Bregman, the right-handed bat, then Tristan Casas, Trevor Story, Masataka Yoshida, Weiler Abreu, Connor Wong, and Rafael. It's very interesting. This would be a lot more balanced for the Red Sox. It's still left-handed heavy, but again, if you could add one more right-handed bat as substantial and as qualified as someone as Alex Bregman, it would be substantial for this Red Sox team, and we know we need it. Now, Bregman, obviously a right-handed bat, is very good at pulling the baseball. Obviously, if you look at the spray chart in the top right, obviously he can hit the ball really anywhere, but he does have a preference to pull the baseball. Now, in doing so, and I know if we look at the Baseball Savant page, a lot of these really percentiles are in the mid to really league average, if not just below league average, but again, when he's great, he is great. The square up percentage is in the tops of the league, as well as the chase rate, the whiff rate, as well as the K percentage, all of those things in the top percentile of the entirety of the MLB, which again is substantial. And then we look at the fielding. Again, the range is in the top percentile of the entire MLB at a very, very substantial and an important position in the hot corner at third base. Again, Bregman would be huge for this Red Sox team. And again, these are numbers off of stat graphs. And again, this is Alex Bregman when playing on the road against the Boston Red Sox. I would like you guys to notice something. If you look at the OPS department, and you look at this section, please understand he has only 2 seasons when playing with the Houston Astros. Again, with these same filters. I know the plate appearances are not massive. I understand that. But again, hitting a baseball is not easy. I don't care if you have five plate appearances or 500. If you have over 1,000 OPS in all but 2 of the seasons playing with these filters, again, obviously with the Houston Astros because he's played the entirety of his 9-year career with Houston. Again, when playing on the road against the Boston Red Sox, which would obviously mean in Fenway, he has posted over 1,000 OPS in all but of 2 of those years. Special. No other way to say it. Again, if you can put him in Fenway in a Red Sox jersey where he played half of his games in Fenway, we could see great production despite seeing the numbers fall off in the last year like they have. And I understand things have regressed. He's getting older. No one's getting younger, and no one beats Father Time. But again, if you can put him in a situation where he has already found so much success at such a high level, despite, I know, 15 plate appearances, 16 plate appearances, 9 plate appearances, I understand. But again, he is still so wildly successful in this ballpark. I think it could be a massive upgrade for the Boston Red Sox. Now, the last thing we're quickly going to cover, again, another segment from MLB Network speaking about the Alex Bregman situation, where, again, they go through all 3 possible suitors, and, again, they are all leaning towards the Cubs or the Tigers. The Red Sox seem like the odd man out for a few reasons. The idea that, again, it is February 11th, and Alex Bregman is still not a part of this roster, and if we were to go out and acquire someone in Alex Bregman, who we would assume would be playing second base dominantly for this Red Sox team, despite having the ability to play third or second. I understand he has versatility and the ability to do both. But again, would we bring him in, again, as spring training is quickly approaching? We're just a few weeks away from really all the spring training really just getting the ball rolling. Obviously, pitchers and catchers have already reported for the Red Sox as well as other teams in the MLB. Would we bring him in and obviously then immediately move Devers to first base or DH? What do we do with Casas? Does Bregman go to second? Do we put him at third? Again, there are a lot of loops to jump through if Bregman is brought into this Red Sox organization. And is that a big decision that we're willing to make at this point in the offseason? Again, we are yet to see if Breslow is going to go out there and really make the substantial offer to Bregman to pull him away from teams like the Chicago Cubs and the Detroit Tigers, who would be very, very, very fortunate and very, very good if they were able to acquire someone in Alex Bregman. As we know, all three of these teams have a connection to Bregman in one way or another, whether it's with current active players on the roster who are friends with Bregman, or obviously GMs or coaches that are involved with the organizations that, again, know Bregman from the past throughout his career. Again, whether he was back at LSU with AJ Hinch, or again, if it was Cora with the Houston Astros, who is now with the Red Sox, obviously. Again, it's going to be very intriguing to see how this plays out. And again, on MLB Network, they did say we are in the middle of the Bregman sweepstakes and to stay on your toes because it could happen any moment now. It could happen by the end of this week is what we are being told. So anticipate a signing from Alex Bregman to one of these top three teams and hopefully the Boston Red Sox by the end of this week and possibly in the next few days, if not by the time I post this video. Again, it is February 11th at 9:45 p.m. So again, we could wake up tomorrow morning on Wednesday, February 12th, and see Alex Bregman in a new jersey for, again, one of these top three teams, and I can't wait to see how it all plays out. Let me know down below how you guys feel about the Red Sox chances to sign the versatile infielder Alex Bregman, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Red Sox Digest.